Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Connected Live. I'm here at 3F Ranch. As you can see by my hair and some of the movement and some of the audio, it is windy. So William somehow came in with a black eye. It was his turn today to be ridden, and it's pretty swollen, and the eyeball itself is fine. So he smacked himself, which is typical William. He's always doing little stuff like that. So I, hosed it out, gave him some arnica, put a cold compress on it, and put him into bed. And then I thought about riding Jack again, and then I went out, and when it gets really windy, Jack gets really hopped up, and the wind's a little bit more than it was yesterday. So I started thinking about it too much. And once I start thinking about it too much, as far as what is he going to do, how is he going to be, I'm setting him and myself up for failure. So I was like, you know what, I know there's a cold front coming. So sorry to say that to my friends that are listening in Southern California as you guys continue in this terrible heat and winds. Prayers for everybody in the line of all those fires, just insane. But we are headed for a cold front. So what am I addressing today on Connected Live? As you guys, some of y'all know, I am a holistic healer now for about 20 years plus. I do all distance work, and I work with people and animals. What am I going to talk about today? Yesterday I promised I would do some information about the coronavirus. What is the virus, right? Virus is a living organism, so therefore, it's living. So what does it want to do? Survive. So with all my years of work, and I'm not against Western medicine, I think it's overused, and I think it's used inappropriately a lot. But I do work with a combination of Western, holistic. I work seamlessly with doctors, vets, and other holistic practitioners when need be. So with coronavirus, you go back to where the whole premise of our modern medicine comes from, meaning pharmaceuticals, and it comes from Pasteur's theory. And at the same time as Pasteur, there was a guy named Beauchamp's, and they had opposing theories. Pasteur was the war on disease or war on germs, and Beauchamp's was make the environment so healthy that you can coexist peacefully with these organisms, because these organisms are everywhere, and some of them are actually symbiotic. So on his deathbed, obviously we went with Pasteur's method, which is the war on disease, the war on germs, and we're such a warring species, and every time you create war, what's going to happen? Whatever you're creating war on is going to fight back. Beauchamp's theory of coexisting makes a lot more sense. Make the environment, meaning the body, so healthy that it seamlessly and coexists with these things, or can, move through it and not die from it. So here we are in a crisis with COVID, and here's the weird thing about COVID-19. You have Epstein-Barr virus, you have HPV, which is proven where it came from, a monkey retrovirus that came from the original polio vaccine, SV40. These viruses will not kill you by themselves, but they create a whole host of other problems in the body that lead to slow deterioration. And HPV in particular causes cancer of every kind, brain, bone, blood, everything. So, but yet these cancers, which especially these viruses, HPV is in over 80% of the population, is not deemed a pandemic. Why? Because you can't link. The virus is not going to kill you. It's what the virus allows to happen inside the body. So I have my issues with COVID as far as it being deemed a pandemic when we have all these other viruses, which are clearly as pervasive and as dangerous, and they just kill in different ways. So my whole theory is that we need to make a shift. COVID-19 is creating a situation where we're going to do more vaccines, which just weaken us. It doesn't cause us to fight or strengthen our bodies. It doesn't cause us to want to eat better or eat smarter. environment. And that was the whole thing. Even Pasteur on his deathbed said he was wrong. He said the environment is everything. The microbe is nothing. So if you don't give the microbe a chance to take hold of you because you're so healthy, then the microbe becomes irrelevant and your way of taking care of yourself. And now I know a lot of people are going to see this and maybe comment later on that they already have issues like fibromyalgia, or cancer survivors, or currently have cancer, or MS, any number of things that are chronic illnesses that, again, diabetes that COVID preys on. Well, I'm a cancer survivor. I got rid of a virus, and I also was diagnosed with pre-diabetes early in my life, and I have superseded all those things. Yes, modern medicine will tell you, Western medicine, that they can't get rid of viruses. Holistic medicine can. It's not going to work the same way for every person, but you can supersede these viruses and make your body stronger while doing it. I'm testimony to that. The diabetes diagnosis that I had, do I have to take insulin or anything else? No. Am I insulin resistant still? I did enough damage to myself early in my youth by not having been taught to eat properly that I can't do sugar. I can't even do fruit. And carbohydrates are a problem. So a lot of people will say, "Oh, you're afraid to eat a piece of chocolate cake," or you're afraid to get fat. It's not about being fat, folks. It's I can't metabolize it, and it increases the inflammation in my. What happens when you increase inflammation in the body? You're setting the stage for disease to set in. So that's my commentary about COVID-19, because we're coming into flu season, and they're recommending the flu vaccine all over the place. I can tell you, when you really read the ingredients of the flu vaccine and its efficacy, it's not great. It really isn't, even for older people. Like when I first got home from LA, and I lived at home helping my parents. My parents were in their late 70s. Every time they got a flu shot, they got deathly ill. Several times during flu season. And it was really bad. And my dad has a propensity for all kinds of respiratory problems. He gets pneumonia really easily, like myself, because I got it early as a child. I got sinus infections early. I got bronchitis early, so then you become susceptible to these things. But my dad was getting sick all the time. So I come home and I kind of do the grocery list, and I'm making tasty meals. They're not like health food, nasty stuff. And I put them on, specific supplements that they needed. And for 3 years that I was there, they didn't get sick once. Not one sniggle. And we didn't do the flu vaccine. Now, for myself, I can say to you, as a person who used to suffer from all these respiratory illnesses, as a youngster because of too much antibiotics destroying my system, I haven't been sick like that in decades. I may get a slight cold once every 3 or 4 years, but it's like a marginal cold that I get rid of holistically without antibiotics really quickly. So I know it's hard for people to swallow this information because, cognitive dissonance. We want to believe our dogma. We don't want to think that we've been doing anything wrong. We want to believe that the doctors that don't do holistic medicine or don't believe in diet, don't believe in supplements, or because they don't know about it, because they're not educated in that in medical school, we want to believe that they're right. I get it. Trusted advisors, I get it. Especially older people. We get older and we get very attached to the way we've done things. But the fact is, I'm not sure that that's the way. And I know that the way I propose in my practice when I help people is to clean up your diets, clean up what you eat, stop the chemicals, stop the processed food, try to eat cleaner, try to do more protein, try to do more leafy greens. Even if they're frozen vegetables, get frozen vegetables at the very least. Frozen fruits. Actually, frozen blueberries have higher antioxidants qualities when they're frozen, believe it or not. So, you know what I'm not sitting here telling people to go to the, Gucci organic store to do better, because there are a lot of people on budgets. There are a lot of people that can't afford, but I get that the bad food for you is cheaper, and we're used to getting that, or people are conditioned to it. But if you just try, eat more vegetables, eat more lean protein, eat more eggs. Eggs are the perfect protein source, and they're not that terribly expensive. But there are ways of doing this that you don't have to break the bank, but you can improve your health. I mean, again, I'm 50. There's no special lighting. I don't do Botox. I don't get facials. I can't afford all those things that Hollywood people do. But people are like, my God, you look like you're in your late 30s, early 40s. Well, because I drink a ton of water and I eat appropriately. And I do appropriate mobility and exercise. I'm not a gym rat. But, like my husband, I have to say, I had my own dogma I was attached to. I had a certain exercise routine that I used to do, and it stopped working because I hit 50 and menopause. And my husband gently, who, looks like Captain America naturally, and also works out and has a very physical job, he's like, baby, you got to start lifting weights. Oh my God, I hate weights. I hate them. Some people find them fun. I don't. I hate it. I feel like it's, the Bhutan death march. But, he began to show me how much I've been weakened by not lifting weights. And so even though I hate it, we go to the gym and I have my little weight routine 3 or 4 times a week, and then I do my cardio, which I prefer so much more. and then I do my yoga a little bit, like 10-15 minutes a day for mobility, and then I do the horses. So even myself, I've had to change things. And when I talk about the sugar in the diet, to fight COVID-19 and create a healthier body for yourselves, if I make it sound easy, it's not. I'm totally addicted to sugar. I'm totally addicted to carbohydrates. And every day I'm like an alcoholic. Every minute of every day, it's like, why am I putting in my mouth what I'm putting? And is this going to help me, or is this going to tear my body down? Every single time I move for a snack, I have to think that way. And it's an addiction. And I come from an addictive background. I come from both sides of the family having alcohol issues. No, I don't drink alcohol anymore. I gave it up a long time ago because it was just destroying me slowly but surely, and putting too much pressure on the liver and destroying a stomach that was already, digestive system that was already compromised. So I'm not coming to you from a place of always having done this. I started in my late 20s because I was given a cancer diagnosis with a virus with diabetes. And like I said, if I can supersede it with all my issues, so can everybody else. And I personally don't want to wear masks the rest of my life. I don't trust the vaccines. The HPV vaccine, my medical doctor friends do not like the HPV vaccine. A lot of my medical doctor friends do not even like the flu vaccine. So I am consulting with professionals in the Western world. I mean, right now, there are medical professionals that I'm working with to bolster their immune systems when they go into situations to work with people that are with COVID-19. And they absolutely say they feel better, they feel stronger, and they feel more confident going into situations with infected people, because not only are they doing what they need to do, which is they're in need, masks and visors and everything else, and I'm telling you, they're feeling more confident because they're doing all these other things, and they're feeling better, and they have more energy, and they can work the crazy hours, and they're like, you are absolutely spot on with what you recommend. So from the literally thousands of people that I have worked with, everybody says the same thing. Once they work with me and try this way, they absolutely are feeling better, feeling stronger, and feeling their bodies improve. So you can do this. Obviously, I recommend people work with me because I can show you the way and get it faster for you, because I am able, as a medical intuitive, 20 years with a platinum reputation, and doctors even saying, like, I've got one MD who I love, who I send a lot of my clients to. He's an integrative medicine doctor, but he's a medical doctor and practiced for years as a regular Western doctor and then went into integrative medicine. I highly respect this individual. My clients go in there and he said, okay, what did Gabby say? Because we'll just start there because she's usually right. And what a compliment. What a huge compliment. And same thing with vets. I get that from some of the vets that know me. And again, the MDs and the vets that work with me do it from a place of confidence. They're not threatened by me because I'm not bad-mouthing them. I'm merely trying to add something that improves the situation. I'm not trying to invalidate. I'm trying to collaborate to make things better for everybody, to make people stronger. And that's really the tact we need to take because, again, I said it earlier before a phone call interrupted, sorry, the broadcast I'm doing. I don't want to wear a mask for the rest of my life. I don't want to have gloves on all the time. I don't want to be afraid. I mean, have I been doing social distancing because I am a compromised immune system? Because oh, by the way, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the broadcast, I do have autoimmune disease as well. And it is an autoimmune disease that is serious, but I have managed it so effectively that nobody knows it, and my immune system is still a tank, despite having this autoimmune thing. And I think part of the health challenges that I've had are so that I can help other people, but I also can show just because you're diagnosed with autoimmune doesn't mean it's a death sentence or that you have to live in a bubble. It means you're careful, you're intelligent, you make reasonable choices, but you're working on this internal health so that you're so strong that your body is not a prime candidate despite having autoimmune. All right, so that is my Connected Live for today. Please share this with others. Again, I am not saying to wear a mask, not to wear a mask. I'm not saying to not do social distancing. I'm saying whatever you do everything possible. Be your own best health advocate. If you're saying, I like the way I eat, but you're still not healthy, then you like hurting yourself. And then there's a real mental problem with that. That's a psychological issue. Why would you eat things that make more inflammation just because they taste good? It's self-destructive is what it is. Like, I have people tell me all the time I'm about to give up something like sugar, and maybe they're allergic to chocolate or something, and they go say, well, I'm about to give it up, so I'm going to go eat chocolate for a whole day, and they're sick for 5 days after because they've binged on this stuff. And I'm like, why on earth would you do that when it hurts you? Like, there's something really wrong with people that do things that harm them. And so if we can get people to understand that eating healthy is, just the best way to give you the best quality of life possible for yourself, for your partner, for your children, for your grandchildren, then it's not so hard to want to change. I wear a mask where appropriate. If it's mandated someplace, I'm not going to be a jerk about it, make everybody upset, but I'm going to wear a mask that I'm comfortable with, which is my mission masks that keep me cool because I get hot too easily. And I spray a little colloidal silver on the outside of it, and that's what I do. I really don't like social gatherings anyway because I'm an introvert, so I'm usually out here at the barn, and I'm with horses. As you can see, there's our manure pile, but there's some of the senior horses that are out here. And I'm with my dogs, and I do work from home. So again, make smart choices, but look at everything you can possibly do. It's worth spending the money to figure it out. So again, everyone, thank you for listening. Please share this with others. Take good care of yourselves. Eat healthy. Eat for good health. That's it. Eat for good health. Drink for good health. Be mindful. Get rid of the sugar. The sugar just creates more inflammation and more problems. Worst thing we ever created for ourselves. And unfortunately, it's like in everything you could possibly imagine. All right, I will talk to y'all soon. I could talk about this forever. I just want to see people be their best and be healthy. I live it. I'm 50 years old with autoimmune, had been a cancer survivor, diagnosed with diabetes and a virus, and have superseded it all and have stayed healthy through this whole thing, not from a place of fear, but from a place of confidence and eating well and doing everything I need to do to make my body the strongest it can be, to coexist rather than to kill. Remember, Western medicine on its own makes your body weaker, not stronger, and can create other problems, like statins creating all the other problems that things create. And you can research it. So there's other ways to handle cholesterol other than the statins. There's a lot of drugs that create more harm than good. But then again, sometimes the drugs are necessary and make good sense. We just need to modify it and do it smarter. We need doctors to be more integrative doctors that know the whole picture. The whole picture includes your whole life, including your job and career. All right, so I'm really going to end it now. I've tried to end it 3 times and I keep going off on a tangent, which is connected. But I will talk to you again soon. I think my next Connected Live, maybe in the next day or so, is going to be about how is it that I'm able to really successfully guide people in their careers and their jobs when I specialize in holistic health. A lot of you know I was in corporate a long time. I went to law school. I speak 3 languages. I was recruited to the State Department's Foreign Service, worked for a top 10 pharmaceutical ad agency, as long as other really cool companies. Holistic health absolutely includes your career. Your health is part of your career. There's no difference. I'm going to talk about that in depth on my next Connected Live. All right, because the human animal is an animal and it is animal communication as well. Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.